Hi everybody, just waiting for a couple of minutes just to make sure we're all live. I'm just going to check on my feed, and because I am doing this on my own as usual. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, we're live. Let me just make sure the sound's on. We're all live. I'm just going to... Oh, good. Perfect, right. So, hello everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully time to get some numbers in. We are doing a Sunday socials. We did it last week with Adee Phelan, and it went rather well. So it's ended up becoming sort of like a feature now. I thought, let's do a Sunday social, we'll have a chat, get everybody talk about what's happened this week, yourselves included, get the comments coming in, share it. Let's get everybody who's not in the group in the group. Hello, Charlie Brennan. Thanks for watching. And then we'll go from there. And back by popular demand, I will introduce the man himself. But here is Adee Phelan, everybody. You're
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Just took my chicken out of the oven.
I've had my tea. Well, what are you having? Chicken and what?
It's Easter Sunday. I'm a Catholic boy, so it's a big kind of holiday in our sort of kind of religion. So I'm having a full-on roast chicken, mashed potatoes,
Yes.
roast potatoes, all the extras, bottle of red, and going to FaceTime my mum later. So yeah, try and keep a little bit of normality, even though I'm on my own.
A bit of a chef on the side, then, yeah.
Well, you know, I've lived on my own. Apart from girlfriends here and there, I've probably spent 90% of my adult life since the age of 14 on my own.
Wow.
So I've always had to, when I couldn't afford to go out, I learned how to cook the basics, and then when I could afford to go out, I continued to cook the basics because I kind of enjoyed it. So I've always kind of cooked and looked after myself, really, mate.
I like it, no problem. Well, yeah, giving it a couple of minutes now for everybody to get in. Again, I'll repeat myself for those who are just joining. Adee Phelan's back by popular demand. Last week went quite well. We had a bit of a chat. It was actually about Adee Phelan last week. It was the interview of Adee Phelan, but it ended up just being a casual chat. And I think this week we've got a few more questions coming in from you guys. And we have got a bit of a running order.
We're going to be announcing the competition winners later.
We are doing. Well, we'll start it off because obviously I've introduced Adee. I have got my running order on my phone, so I'm not reading my phone, guys. We are going to announce the Wednesday challenge winner, but I think we're going to let everybody hold on for that just to keep the suspense going. But let's start by basically running down the week, because I want to make this a thing where we go through the week, we talk about what's happened in hairdressing predominantly, but obviously the rest of the world, because these are hairdressers watching it, and we're not just all about hair. So a couple of hours ago, breaking news, Boris Johnson has been released from hospital. Amen to him for that. What a day to do it. And did you see his speech?
Yeah.
Good speech,
well, I did. I mean, listen, no leader in the world has ever, him and Trump and all the world leaders have never, ever, ever had to deal with anything like this. Even World War I and II was kind of like two countries or continents fighting against each other. This is planet Earth. This is the whole world fighting something. So the fact that he's delegated, this is the great thing. It goes into the hairdressing conversation. When you're a great leader, when I started off hairdressing, I did everything. Open up, lock up, payroll, this, that, VAT, tax, photo shoot, When you get better at business and wiser, you delegate. And the key to good delegation is to have great people to delegate to. So I think he's got a great team. It's important we have our leader, whether he's Labour, Green Party, Brexit Party, whatever party, Conservative. We need a leader, and I think he's done a good job. I think it was the first time I've ever seen a political speech that had. It looked like he had wrote it. As you well know, your viewers, lots of these leaders don't write their speeches. They have their sidekicks to do it for. I think it came from the heart, and I think that it's good to have him back, and we need him back because we've had a really, really, really tough 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I've got a horrible feeling we're in for another 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I've got that written down here as something to discuss, but we'll go into that in a minute because going back to the Boris chat, there was a Winston Churchill-esque passion behind it, weren't there? There was like we are going to beat this fight, we are going to win. And there were key words in there that I think that we might not take in right this minute, but we'll look back at that as a key moment in our sort of generation where it talks about love and passion and NHS and the community. And I think there's some key words in there, Winston Churchill-esque, like I said.
I mean, we all know, well, Churchill is a massive, massive influence on Boris. He loves Churchill. I'm a huge Churchill fan.
Yeah.
I actually, believe it or not, and a lot, when I say this, lots of Northerners, and I've lived up north most of before I came to London, I spent many years up north. I love the north. What I'm going to say is extremely dangerous, because lots of people will go and have done before. Oh my God. But I was a huge fan of Margaret Thatcher. Now, before people start jumping down your neck, because I won't see the comments, if there is any.
There is some coming in, go on.
Margaret Thatcher, I didn't agree with her policies, but I thought she was a great leader. She was a powerful, strong woman. Yeah. Yes, a lot of what she did I didn't buy into, but when you talk about great leaders, I think what Boris did today, I don't think can compare to Churchill. Let's be honest. Churchill was a soldier. He was on the front line. He took over politics. He was known worldwide as the superpower of politics. But what Boris did today certainly should lift morale. And it's great to see our leader. We are not like the Americans. We ain't that compassionate, and we ain't that sort of romantic about politics. If this was the American president, love or hate him, the whole country would be mourning and wishing him well. We've kind of flown by this last week, giving it hope he gets better. I mean, this is our leader, so I think it's good he's back. I think it might bring the country together. I think this whole thing is definitely bringing the country together. All the people that were boarding up their doors around Covent Garden, worried about looters, my window's open in Leicester Square, mate. There's not a single dicky bird out there. So I think if anything positive comes out of it, it will be politicians might learn to work together a bit more, and I think we as a country might sort of be more interested in the day-to-day run of the country, because we only seem to get involved when there's an election.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, we're not politicians, but I just did think that this was a perfect sort of starting point, because it's breaking news. Everyone's talking about it. So I wanted to see if anyone else had an opinion on it. But I'll just read out a couple of the comments that have already come in. Most people saying hello, Morgan Flannery, Emma Hare. I presume that's not a last name, Hare. Mary Ann Mam. And then one for you, mate. LOL Adee, my old housemate, such a G, from Sarah Banahan.
Sarah Jane Banahan.
Listen, the one.
I'm going to dedicate this whole thing to you guys. I'm just going to answer questions there. I'm not going to be talking too much. But that girl, Sarah Jane Banahan, really good friend of mine. She moved into my flat about 14 months ago for 2 weeks. She was here 13 months. And I've only had 2 flatmates in my whole life. And she's an amazing girl. She's been checking up on me every day. She's the one who bought me the dartboard. She's the one who was dropping around food when I was feeling low and down. And, you know, I've got lots of great friends. My mate Max in America, Lawrence Edney. I've been speaking to Alan McGee today, the guy who discovered Oasis.
Yeah.
I did a mad haircut online today with a model called Paul Scolfer. He's an institute and a legend in the industry. He did Britain's Next Top Model a few years ago with Abby. And we did like a live haircut with him today. But Sarah has been the one person. Everyone needs a person, mate, through these times. And she's been my little... So, yeah, that's cool, man. Wicked.
Well, hopefully we're people's persons, because some people don't have that, and hopefully we're that for some other people today.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. That's a cool way to look at it. Someone, Marianne Milne, has put, I think Boris is doing the best of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Paula Gill saying that's lovely. I presume she's on about your comments towards your friend. So, yeah, that's cool. But, yeah, anyway, talking about the lockdown, you mentioned there's going to be 3 weeks... No, well, we've done 3 weeks, potentially going to be further. I think we can all say safely that it looks like it's going to go for another at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
How are we set up for that? How are you set up for that? Because I've got a story for you, but I'll ask your opinion first. How are we all set up for that?
Listen, I know I don't know the answers like nobody else really has answers. All I know is I've had probably the most productive week or 10 days in the last 10 years. I've been had a really cool chat with this production company that do a lot of stuff for Channel 4 and that. They're interested in doing something with me. I'm
Awesome.
definitely getting my podcast stroke Facebook. You're going to help me with all this when this is
Absolutely.
over.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to start doing a weekly kind of music stroke hair stroke sort of fashion kind of blog. I'm going to get all my private clients in and interview them. And so for me, it's been productive. Listen, don't get me wrong. My business and my product company is dying. I can hear the bottles and the tubes in the factory going, Adee, please help us, sell us. Sales have gone. So I'm struggling like everyone else. So I don't want to be super too positive because people at home are going through tough times. They don't want to hear me going, oh, my life's great. But I've just been proactive. I've started working on a new collection for Skinhead. I've been doing lots of online education.
Yeah.
I've been contacting friends and photographers and models that I haven't contacted in a while. And we've been discussing doing something really cool. So I've just been using every minute of every hour of every day to be proactive. I struggle with mental health. I struggle with depression and anxiety. So for me, when that sound goes off, when you finish this call tonight and that window's open with no people, I can go from a 10 to a 1 in the space of 20 minutes.
Yeah, well,
so maybe it's psychologically I'm being so busy that I haven't got time to get down or let this get to me, because it will. So all I can say to people is plan when you're going to open up. You don't know when, but plan when you're going to open up. Plan how many staff you're going to open with. Plan on sort of different shifts you're going to open the shops up. Plan, do you bring back a whole team or not? Plan the price of a haircut. More importantly, deposits. Landlords, anyone who's got a half sort of scaled shop will have a deposit. Speak to your landlord. Listen, running away from landlords and not paying your rent and thinking we can blame it on the virus and saying he won't throw me out. He can. The best way, my best bit of advice today is to communicate with your landlord. Tell them, listen, I love the shop. It's my life. It's my soul. Landlords ain't going to turf you out and leave an empty shop. Work. If you've got a deposit, tell them, can you take some out of the deposit, work it down? You've got to communicate. You've really, really, really got to plan, because when the doors open, I think there will be an influx of clients into our shops. But remember, we're going to be coming out of a depression, not out of a recession.
Yeah.
And I think, people ain't going to have a lot of money, mate. I hate to put a bleak note on everything, but the fact of the matter is a recession and a depression is a very scary, scary thing. And people, you might need to look at your structures. You might need to look at your price structures in your salons, because people mightn't be able to pay what they've been paying before. I don't know the answers. All I know is there's great business forums out there.
Yeah.
There's great people within our industry that do business chats. I do more motivational stuff. As far as business, you need to get on it now. Look at your grants. Speak to your landlords. Work out your VAT. I know there's not going to be no VAT. Anyone that's taken more than, I think it's £87,000 a year, 500, will have to pay VAT. You won't have to pay it the next quarter, but it will need to get paid. So this is the time to really structure and work out whether we open tomorrow or next month, how you're going to attack it.
Yeah, I have a couple of guys lined up for a future live, actually, so I'll post that one if it comes to fruition. But I've got a couple of guys that are going to come on, and they are business operators, and they go out, talk about business. They have a couple of salons that are worth XXX, and But on that, actually, going back a little bit, you're saying about knowing your numbers, knowing your figures. I think that's massively important for hairdressers. I don't know what your opinions are to the people that are listening and watching, but I spoke to a hairdresser the other day, and I won't say his name because it was a private conversation. I never mentioned I was going to do it on this. But he said that it costs him £25,000 a month to cover his costs, and that's because of their staff and etc. etc. Now, he's only eligible for that £10,000 grant, so this could see him go under. Now, I'm sure there's many people on here that are, I'm lucky that my salon doesn't cost me that much. I've only got 3 members of staff. Some people have more. Yourself, you've got a massive company at the minute to look after. But there's some people on here, and I want to know their opinions. It's more of a question to them. But how are they prepared? Is the £10,000 enough for you? Do we need some more money? Things like that. But yeah, I'll read out a couple of things here for you, Adee, as well.
Yeah.
We're on about like how we're prepared for it, and Charlie Brennan said she enjoyed doing behind the chair work, just wish she had more colours and dolls to work on. I kind of agree with that. It's an expensive hobby, isn't it? Just colouring hair at home and doing it.
What's her name?
Charlie Brennan.
Charlie Brennan, my advice to that is speak to your local academies or wholesalers, see if they'll do you a deal. Say if you can supply me with mannequin heads, I'll do free education for you.
What an idea that is. Yeah. Sharon Hilton, I really enjoyed my time at home with the family. Might not be saying that by the end of it, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a different time for us at the minute. Amy Usher Goldsmith said, I tried the 5-minute haircut on my dolls, which is what you're doing on your social media. Love doing it, and thank you again.
Wicked. Top girl, man.
Yeah, last one of the comments, and then we'll go back, is, bloody hell, I've set myself up here. Nadine has said, I have just been planning where I want to be, where we are open, and my landlord is being good. We have to keep it active. I have been doing online education, and something I've never done in my life. I've came out of the comfort zone, talking to the camera. It's been scary, but I'm now enjoying it. It's something that I want to continue doing.
Listen, this is the brilliant thing about, listen, the last 4 or 5 years, I took a bit of a down with my confidence. And I went from doing lots of TV to having lots of salons and business great to almost losing everything. I lost a load of money and I had to rebuild. A lot of people don't know that. And since I've been doing these Skypes and calls and my little daily posts, the amount of interest I've had from academies, 2 TV production companies, I've filmed 2 things already that's going out. And my confidence, and I've done lots of telly and being involved with lots of that sort of media stuff. And I was taking this dip. So the lady that just posted that, all I can say to you is sometimes the biggest gems of all of our industries, music, fashion, architecture, politics, come out of situations where you least expect them to come out.
Yeah.
I watched an amazing thing very quickly on the Graham Norton. They had a documentary about Graham Norton and how Graham Norton got his break. He was doing all these the comedy circuit, and then he took over a TV show for 1 episode while the guy was on holiday. And he did such an amazing job. They both got nominated for a comedy award. He only did 1 show. The other guy did 50 and he won. And what happened? They sacked the other guy, took him. So it was an opportunity in the times of great despair. I'm not going to do a Churchill quote. But
I know you're not copying my thing last night, by the way, but go on, I'll let you have it.
But in times of great despair, in times of war and famine and crime and cancer and diseases, there will always be people that rise to the top.
Yeah.
And if not, try and make those things better, devise or create something that will add to the end of these things, like your Bob Geldofs and all these the soccer aids and all these charities around the world. And I think the lady that was just on a minute ago, all I'd say to you is keep doing it.
Yeah.
This is a great forum because when I do live stuffs, I like to read out the negatives. I'm a kind of a sadistic, sick guy.
No. Yeah.
And all I'd say to is keep going. The more you do it, the better you get. And you cannot teach how to make somebody light up a camera. It either comes or it doesn't. But this format is an amazing thing to communicate. And I just think we might see a load of fresh faces on the scene because of it.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, to go to the quote that I posted last night, it was in the middle of difficulty comes opportunity, and that was Albert Einstein. And that's exactly what I did. I was in a fortunate position where just for people that don't know the background of Hair Socials, I was actually paid by Matrix, which is part of the L'Oreal group, for a month's work up front that I haven't done. And they never asked for it back. They said, no, it's fine, it's not your fault that they've shut down. But I thought, well, fair play, because, I need that money at the minute. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do something for you. And I am actually not a massive fan of being in front of a camera. I can stand in front of hundreds and hundreds of people and talk, but when a camera's on me, I suddenly get this different feeling. But like you just said then, it's what comes from it, and it's just got about taking your moments, really, innit?
You could be the new Graham Norton of the social media.
I mean, I might look like Graham Norton, I'll give you that much. What have we got here? I've got a couple of longer comments here, mate. Bloody hell, they're all coming in. I'm the worst reader ever. I'm a typical hairdresser. I'm not a very academical. So Joshua Hilton has said, I won't read it all word for word because it's a long one, but he's basically said, come out of employment on the 17th of March, went self-employed, on the 17th of March, renting a chair in a local salon, went for a week and then lockdown happened. Such an uncertain time, but I'm sure when it all blows over, I'll be coming back. But I agree that most people, I'm covering the next bit. Where's it gone here now? Oh yeah, but that most people may not have the money, but I think it will be a good time to look after our clients more. So after this, when it's all done, and then it's cut off.
I heard Gary Vee say something on Instagram today, and he's a very, very, very smart guy. I don't appreciate every other word as an F and an F and an F, but he did say something in the lines of, would you prefer £100 million in your bank tomorrow, Simon? £100 million sterling tax-free in your account? Or would you prefer, but the consequences of that are you have to lie in hospital and fight for your life, and there's a 5 or 10% chance of you surviving. The answer is keep your money, I want my help. At the end of all of this, the difference between 2007, the banking, it had nothing to do with folk like me and you, hard workers, the viewers that look at your channel. That's why we were so angry. The difference with this is it's the same for everyone. So the answer to your question, no matter how much you're losing, no matter how difficult it is, no matter if you're struggling to survive and eat and keep your phone, I would prefer to be healthy and have my life than take the chance and be lying in a morgue. I know it sounds a horrible way of putting it, but the fact of the matter is we have got to worry about our health and our well-beings before anything to do with money and wealth. I really, 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 really started off being angry. I'm a huge Liverpool fan. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. So about 30 fucking years to win the league. 30 years. So we're 25 points clear. Impossible to lose. I supported this club my whole life, stood in the stands in a pissing rain, and we get a virus. So that was my main thing, was Liverpool ain't going to win the league. I still want Liverpool to win the league. Hopefully we will win the league, but I'm not worried about that at the moment. I'm worried about staying alive, mate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Paula Gill says, love this, how supportive our community is. Had such great conversations with stylists all over the world, keeping positive vibes coming, you guys.
Wicked.
Yeah, sorry only just got to tune in, but loved Adee Phelan advertising in the shower. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen that, you can see Adee's arse in about 3 seconds in when he bends over. I love him. Sorry, she didn't write that. That's by the way, I heard that bit. Jenny Murphy is, and she's put, I love him. Hope to watch you on a Sunday session later. Much love from Ireland. Mate, they're coming in. I can't keep up with all this. Adee, I love that you talk openly about reality of mental health. As a hairdresser, we talk to many clients, deepest and darkest problems. Quite possibly the only people they confide in, meaning us, I think. I think many people realise how special we are, by the way. That's for Fiona.
Mate, you know what? Without people tuning in, there is no Facebook, there is no channel. Without you setting it up, it doesn't happen. And without people like me and all your other guests, that stops it from working. The answer, so that's what I'm trying to say is it takes everything to come together to make something work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just...
So, Hey, listen, Simon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 8 seconds. I'm going to just turn the oven off. And while we turn the oven off, this is my tune of the day. You ready?
Go on then, we'll give a tune of the day. Go on. Hopefully
you only listen to 20 seconds of it, but what a tune.
Yeah, we could only have 20 seconds. We'll have to perfect rights, I think. This is the stars. Yeah, I can barely hear. Hopefully you can all hear me, but while he goes to do that, we talked about the receiving grants. If anyone else has got any sort of passion that they want to share about the business, let's talk about it. I just want to quickly run through last week's artists that were kind enough to give us their time. Let me just get the list up so I don't miss anybody by accident. My memory is appalling, so I do not want to get that wrong. So we've had this week, we had started with Michael Convey, who had a record-breaking 400 and plus live viewers at once. So fantastic work to Michael. He did some toning techniques. If you haven't seen that, that's live 13. Sharon, with her first ever live, did a round graduation, then a pixie cut. That went quite well, even though the doll was standing on end. Colour correction with Terry Longdon. If you haven't seen that, I can't tell you how easy that guy makes it look. But I think Adie's gone. Oh no, that is bad. Yeah, he basically cleans up a balayage in absolutely no time at all. Christian Wiles, fantastic men's hairdresser. If you haven't seen that, that's live 16. Doing classic men's hair cutting. And then Peaches and Soda finished on the Saturday with some creative colouring. She did a rainbow effect. I'm just going to cut Adee off there because it looks like we've lost him. She did a creative colouring effect. If you haven't seen that, get on it. She makes it again look easy. I don't know if you ever see this technique, but you know where the rainbow goes down at an angle. And I've always wondered how did I get it to that perfect V in the back. A lot simpler than I realised. Thank you very much for that. And then what else have we got? We've got my interview with Andrew Barton. If you haven't seen that, let me just cut Adee off. This happened last week. I'm not sure his internet connection is as strong as we need it to be. But he said he could come back on when we can. So yeah, I did an interview with Andrew Barton. If you haven't seen it, it's done right well, to be fair, because I'm not an interviewer. I've stated countless times how I'm not a broadcast journalist. My best friend is a broadcast journalist, so I have to make that point. But yeah, it was an interesting interview. He's such a lovely person. If you haven't watched it, watch it. He's had an endless career in this industry. And hopefully it'll go on for many, many years because he's a wonderful human being. Irrelevant of all the accolade that man has won, he's a wonderful human being, and I think that's more important than anything really. Just like Adee said, just see if I can read out some more comments. Keep them coming, by the way. Keeps me talking while Adee sorts his internet out. Gutted, only just remembered you both on. Great to see you both again. Thanks, Elise. Let's see. I agree. As long as I've got my family and health, I don't actually care about money. Money's secondary, I must admit, but at the minute it's the forefront of everyone's stress, I think. Got another long comment. Keep these comments coming in, by the way, because it's helping me delay the fact that we can't get Adee back on. I've tried 3 times now. Put the shower scene on was amazing. He bends over about 3 seconds in. You can see his arse. I don't know if he realises that. Totally agree. My family health is very important. Adee Phelan, don't forget. Hang on, let me put this on. Adee Phelan, don't forget that reunion. Do you know what? I spoke to him about this the other day, and he said he's going to sort it. He said, let me quit Skype. Let me see if I can ring him back. He said he's going to sort it. He's going to speak to who was it that was living in New York now. He said it to us the other day, but I can't remember it where. He said he's going to contact him and get him back on. Simon has been amazing with the socials. It's created an opportunity, created an amazing community. Thank you so much. Claire Jones, Team Matrix, as I said before, Matrix have supported me, so I have to give them a bit of a shout out. They don't pay me for this, but they paid me for things that have kept me going over the years, so thank you very much to Matrix and Claire Jones for your comment. What else have we got? Love what you're doing, mate. Absolute great viewing and an inspiration. Matthew, what a guy. If you don't know who he is, give him a look. He's a Scottish phenomenon, I'm going to say. He might not agree with that one. Love Terry London and Peaches last night was amazing. What were your favourite bits? Go on, give us a shout out. And Andrew Barton. Having the experience time away before. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen, thank God, because I can't bloody read. Having experienced time away from the salon, having a lift to the back. Let's be able to connect. I can't read that, it's far too low for me. Done the rainbow on a model tonight. I want to see that, Charlie. Charlie Brennan's put. I've done the model. Rainbow style was wash on smash style. Oh my God, there's so many comments. Thanks, guys, for keeping this coming because it's helping me out. Adee's not answering. I've tried again. My dad's a banker. He always said to me, I don't think you should become a hairdresser because we were heading into the recession in 2008. Do you know what? I opened my first salon then, and it happened like 3 months later. I was devastated. It didn't work out that salon, unfortunately, but I've been there, done it, and learnt from it. Did think the people, which turned into quite the opposite. I was the only thing they spend their money on because it made them feel better. Now in the crisis, everyone wants their hairdo. I agree with that, which is quite bizarre, really, isn't it? Because I've had people ringing me up saying, "I need my hair doing. Could you come and do my hair?" Offering me money to come and do their hair. It's one of them. But that people have their own sort of stresses. I'm going to text Adee to ring me. Adee, call me back on Skype. Okay, so next week, I'll just go into next week's live. If you haven't looked, we have 2 fantastic colourists, and I'm talking like a joke of colourists. Adee's ringing me back. Fantastic colourists. So we've got on Monday, we've got a super colourist. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we've got 3 fantastic stylists that I work with, thankfully, on the RD team. I've got to meet them there. Adee, if you press your camera for me, it'll come back on. And then on Friday, we have another, which is Connor. And Connor, so we've got James Masters on Monday. Then we've got the 3 girls from the RD team that I'll read out to you the second one. I'll just get Adee on. And yeah, that's Jay. Yeah, if Adee just presses the camera now, you should be on in a sec. And then on Friday, we've got Connor Doyle. Now, if you don't know Connor Doyle, he's unreal. As much as James Masters, but these 2 colourists are completely different, but both quite dominant on social media. James Masters is phenomenal at these vivids, especially. And if you look at Connor Doyle's work, his knowledge of colour is out of this world, and he's a former L'Oreal educator. But Adee's back. I haven't got any sound with you, Adee. Have you muted me yet? See if he's doing it. Let me read out some of these comments while Adee sorts his sound out. Love that we can all come together as one big family. Louise Scott says, I still can't hear you, Adee. Sorry, pal. Louise Scott says, I just pray people don't colour their hair. It's going to make the job even harder. We will have weeks to catch up. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me just see where Adee's voice is. So Adee,
can't hear me.
Yeah, it is. There it is. Got you. Welcome back. You're live. Don't worry. Carry on as we were. I've just read out a few comments and continued on. I've basically introduced what's coming next week and what we've seen this week. And the Andrew Barton. I don't know if you got to watch that live, an interview that I did with Andrew Barton. It's a phenomenally, wonderfully talented but unbelievable human being at the same time, I was saying.
Talking about me again.
Yes, mate. So that's it for the sort of formalities. But Adee wants to talk to us today because I kind of wanted to talk about your tips and tricks that you've been doing on social media. I don't need my format now; it can go a bit ad lib. But I wanted to talk to you about your tips and tricks, and basically, where are you getting your inspiration from at the minute? Because obviously, there's no music coming out that's new. The artists have gone undercover. And there's football's not on, and obviously they're 2 main inspirations for me and you.
I mean, listen, I think I've always got my inspiration through walking through Soho, Covent Garden, West End. Yeah. That's the street you'll always find the true fashion leaders and music leaders and the true hair. Walking through the street, the amount of times I've gone, wow, who did your barnet that I did it myself? Like, what? Yeah. So I think music from back in the day with Elvis, I think Elvis was probably, in my opinion, probably the first kind of musician in the late 40s, early 50s that sort of turned men's hairdressing completely on its head. And then we move on to the Rolling Stones, the Who, the Clash of Specials. Then you go on to the Beatles, and then you move on a couple of generations. Then you got the Sex Pistols, the punks and the mods and the rockers. I think music and hair has always been a marriage. You look at some of the biggest icons, David Bowie, renowned for his music, of course, but his hair was always there. You look at football, you look at Beckham, how he changed the world of football, how we dress, how we tattoo, talking about hair and having a different haircut. So he was a massive influence. But I could go on and on and on and on. But music, football, and hair all are a perfect marriage. And I've always gotten my inspiration through looking through, the music mags and walking through Soho and walking through central London. Whatever city you're in, you're always going to find a cool part of it. And I think I try not to get too inspired by other hairdressers. I try not to follow trends. We all say that, but we all follow a trend to some degree. When people go, "Oh,
Absolutely.
I don't follow trends," I don't follow trends, man. I make up my own trends. I'm a kind of individual. Whatever. It's very, very, very rarely we create or invent something revolutionary. It happens every other generation, especially in our industry. I think, what are the biggest things that have happened in our industry in the last 50 years, 60 years? We go, well, Sassoons, the Bob, Twiggy, the Purdy cut. And then you'd move on sort of like to the 80s, 90s. It was the whole Jennifer Aniston from Friends, that whole shaggy sort of layered look. And then you had, who was married to Antonia Banderas? What's the actress?
No idea, mate. But I'm about to tell you my memory's worse. But if anyone watching wants to put their 2 pence in with that one, they might know it. But Claire Kendrick said she needs to walk through that town. Where did you say? Covent Garden?
Covent Garden.
Yeah, Claire Kendrick says maybe I need to take a walk through there then. And then she also says she loves walking through Liverpool.
Good girl.
Yeah, she's currently reading a Vidal Sassoon book.
Listen, every hairdresser in this world, if you did a survey, you'd be amazed at the response because it would be so vast. Every country. I did a huge TV show about 6 years ago in America called Sheer Genius.
Yeah.
I got eliminated after about 6 weeks. But I never knew any of the celebrity hairdressers out there. They didn't know who I was. And I'm not saying I'm a celebrity. What I'm saying is, but I have got that.
Yeah, no, I think you are in this country. I'd say that for you.
I don't like using the word because to me it's a dirty word. But the fact of the matter is, I have worked with lots of influential celebrities, and I've done a lot of shows about hair, so it makes me a celebrity hairdresser, not a celebrity. I want to make that clear. But I think that the whole social media and the whole sort of way we get our stuff across now, I know hairdressers out there that got 500,000 followers.
Yeah.
They've never won an award in their life. But
yeah.
I have more respect for them because they have taken the model that I was doing in 203, 205, 207, all the way up to sort of 2010, 11, and they've gone, forget all that. That's so yesterday. You're a relic. Now it's about this. It's about doing a haircut. When this is all over, I said I'd never do it. I'm going to be getting my proper ring lights. I'm going to be getting 2 cameras set up in my apartment. I'm going to take this whole social media thing much, 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 much more serious than I have been taking it.
I hope I've inspired you for that one.
Well, you have inspired me definitely for the Facebook scenario. Today, most definitely you've inspired me to do something like this, 100%. So there you go. I've never met you before in my life. we did briefly, but already I'm nicking something. When I use the term nicking, I take it as a compliment. Someone says to me, I nicked that idea. I'm like, good lad. So I'm going to be setting up this scenario, and I've already been making plans for, I'm going to do a football one week where I'll get a Premier League footballer in my chair. And as I'm cutting hair, I'll be interviewing him. So it'll be like, I'm going to call it The Chair with Adee Phelan. Next week, it will be a musician. The week after that, it will be a rock and roller. The week after that, it'll be a fashion designer. The week after that, it'll be a presenter. Whatever. So that's kind of inspired me what you're doing to take what I'm doing a lot more seriously, because I can't keep using the excuse, back in my day, we did think, whatever, time to move on.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. And I want to know where people that are watching, I want to know where your inspiration from, where do you get your inspiration from, so we can go back to that one. But I agree with social media. For me, I've tried all the awards. I haven't tried all the awards. I've tried the Colour Trophy and things like that because I'm a hairdresser. And I've had no success from that. And there's always been that nagging thing of, am I not a big enough salon? I've done it for 10 years now. I've got 10 regionals but never won it. And but social media for me has given me a way to sort of showcase my work to who I want to showcase it to, much like yourself now, and we've got in contact, and it's worked for me massively. And I've not won any awards, like you said.
But I won't mention any names because it'd be very disrespectful, but about 13 years ago, I did this kind of deal with hairdressers that I would help them not do their pictures, but I would help them to get to the final six. Now, getting to the final six of British Hairdresser of the Year is it's the biggest competition in the world. Well, especially for British and European hairdressing. It's the creme de la creme. And I was going through a phase of being very successful with it. And then I took about 6 hairdressers. I got 4 of them through. Now, I never did the hair. I need to stress that. But what I did do, to enter these competitions, Simon, there's so many hairdressers like you that are technically, creatively, visually bang on.
Thank you.
Bang on. Some of the work we judged this week for the competition, the work was wow. Clean, sharp, crisp, beautiful colours, beautiful cuts, beautiful makeovers. And for anyone that's watching or going to listen to this on catch up, and this is a fact, you cannot take a girl from Tesco's or Sainsbury's and expect to win British Hairdresser of the Year or categories. You need to use 3 things, right?
Cool.
Great model, number 1.
Yep. Oh, you're writing this down, everybody.
Great photographer, number 2. Number 3, great concept styling makeup. So before I ever do a collection, I always have a concept. The first collection I did was the mugshots. And then I did a tribute to British hairdressing where I had 8 models that represented 8 iconic hairdressers and gave them an iconic haircut. So the Sassoons, it was a guy with a really sort of one length, sort of bowly haircut. And then I had sort of like a anti-Muscola inspired haircut where it was very textured and mad. And then I did sort of a Sam McKnight where it was a sort of very dressy look. Every time I've done a collection, I've had a concept, but I say to people and I beg people, they say, oh, I spent £3,000 on my pictures. I went, you could have spent 300,000. You ain't got a chance. In order to get through. And every year I go to the Docklands, the Salon International, and I look at the finalists. The work, the models are always beautiful. The photography is always crisp. The execution of hair sometimes is not my taste, but take the taste out of it in order to win at these competitions, Creative Hair Awards and the British Hairdressing Awards. Unfortunately, you either have to do what I did at the beginning where I had no money, but I had famous model friends who I begged them to do it. I had a famous photographer, Wolfgang Mustaine, who I begged to do my pictures. And then I managed, as soon as I shot the pictures, I remember going back to the shop and Lee Stafford saying to me, job done. You've just won it. I went, what do you mean? You've done. So my advice to people out there, don't throw 300, 500, 600, 700 pounds at a collection and try and get through to the last 6. It ain't going to happen. And that I'm always super positive. It ain't going to happen. What I would recommend you do is get ring lights and a good phone, most people have, and start working on concept and idea and build up your social media, build up your content. And then when you can afford to properly do it, do it. But I see so many people disappointed, thousands of entrants, and I always go, mate, do you want me to be honest? Because I'm very good at being honest. And they're like, please. I'm like, the hair looked amazing. Photography looked pretty cool. Model killed you, mate. Killed you. And unfortunately, we do live in a time. When's the last time you've seen a Calvin Klein male model with a fat gut and a 1/2-inch penis?
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
No,
when's the last time you've seen a car commercial and the bloke jumps out of it with a ripped pair of jeans and unshaven? It doesn't happen. We live in a visual planet where everything, now and again, trends come in, sort of like where different types of shaped people will become so-called fashionable. I think awards should be based on basically the hair, whether you're the most beautifulest girl in the world or beautifulest guy or the ugliest. I think it should be based on haircuts. But unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world. So I just say to people, save your money until you can afford to do it properly, or until you can afford to call in favours.
No, I agree. People are laughing at your comment, fat gut, half inch penis, such advice though, ha ha ha, laughing. There's a lot of good people laughing about Paula Gill, etc. Sad but true, someone said. But I agree with you, mate, because there's a lot more that creates an image. It's not, like you said, it's about creating an image and a whole picture. Because
Yeah,
if the backdrop's got a crinkled thing in it, all of a sudden I lose respect for the fact that it's not a professional photographer or whatever. I look at it in a completely different way, and I don't mean to do it because it's just natural. That's what we do, and if we want to be seen, and I'll have a chat with you about that off there because I don't want to bore everyone with what my ambitions are. But how do you go about creating your concept then? What is it? Where's your starting point for that?
I have a concept. So I won't bore you as well. We will answer more questions. My concept for my first men's British hairdresser of the year, my first category, my first entry, and I won the big one. I won men's British. I was watching Usual Suspects, you know the movie,
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, and there it was. I went, "There's my." Listen, you can't just have 8 models looking amazing. You need a story. You need a beginning, middle of it. Every great movie, every great book, every great sports star's journey and movie. It's always based on a beginning, them fighting. I watched the girl about the surf girl who lost her arm many years ago, and she's gone on to become this iconic figure now. Now she's winning surfing titles with one arm. It's just insane, but it showed the battle. And I think with the hair awards, you need a concept. So I watch Usual Suspects. Love the idea of them all standing there with their different names on the board. So I came up with 8 classic names, and I came up with 8 characters. So I had the spiv, I had the pervert, I had the sort of handsome, good-looking guy. I had the angel. I called him Angel. He had the white hair and the white suit. And then I had Sins, and he had 666 written on his board. He had this big long fringe, and he looked very sort of sick and twisted. So I had characters. When people were looking at my pictures, they weren't just looking at the hair. They were going, oh, I love Sins. I love Angel. Great idea. I shot it on an old 10-8 cine camera, big black and white Polaroid, sepia tone. I mean,
I'm pretty sure myself, and I'm pretty sure that myself anyway, but I'm pretty sure that the rest of the people watching this want to see this. If you still got this collection lying around, if you can get
yes,
it.
I'm gonna. My collection now. I'll say one thing about this. My collection now, back in 2000, I won men's British 2000, would stand up all day long, with any set of pictures that I've done since, and most collections I see now. They were just iconically shot. The models I used, the little guy from the Horrors, you know the band The Horrors?
Yeah.
He was working in a bagel. He was the main guy from The Horrors. What's his name? Reese. His name's Reese. He worked in a bagel shop. He had this sort of Happy Monday, sort of crazy cool haircut. He was really skinny. He wore these big sunglasses. I went, wow. And then I used this other guy, Lawrence Sedney, one of my best mates, who's a very popular, famous model out there. And I was like, bang. And I begged him. He was like, yeah. And then I found Wolfgang, and I just got this concept together. And the moral of the story is I had a great idea, concept, very little money. Roll the camera forward 5 years. I hired the best photographers. I didn't get involved with concept. I spent £34,000 on a set of pictures. I won't tell you who shot them, but it was. I might as well tell you. It was Mario Testino's first assistant who'd been with him for years. So he was literally like hiring the great man. And I never even got to the finals. The moral of the story is I got cocky. I got rich quick, and I thought, great models, great photography, great makeup. I'll do a bit of hair, shoot the pictures. I'll get nominated again. Never even got to the final. So the moral of the story is, whether you've got £100 or £1 million, you need a concept idea. But number 2, you need great models. So any aspiring hairdresser that wants to enter awards, PPP, piss poor preparation equals piss poor performance.
Yeah,
Plan,
right.
plan, plan. Shoot your models on a crappy Polaroid camera. Get your angles. Practice the hair. Shoot everything twice because you might go home and look at a picture and go, oh, I kind of like his hair like that. So my tips are preparation, 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 and push the boat out. Favors. Ring up bloggers, models, beg them. Say, please, you're amazing, you're fantastic. I'd love to use you for my collection. It'd be a dream come true. You never know. They might give a half a day of their life up for you. It's
Yeah,
happened with me.
absolutely. I'm a bit soft on that department. It's something I need to get a bit stronger on. But shall we head over to the Wednesday challenge winners?
Yes. So before we go any further, we're going to pull out. It was initially supposed to be, because it was my fault, not Simon's, a bit vague. It should have been colour of the competition or haircut or style or makeover. So we're going to have 3 winners because there was about 100 and I think I got over 230 DMs
Yeah, I got a
before and
lot.
afters. I posted them all. I've picked out 3. We both kind of agreed on 2.
Yeah.
So we've pulled out 3. Next week, so each of them is going to get £100 goodie bag from me.
Yeah.
And when all this craziness is over, you'll take their details. Well, you have the details because you have the winners. And when all this craziness is over, I'll send them out the goodie bag. So you're guaranteed £100 for each haircut. Next week's competition is going to be men's only. So it's going to be men's barbering or cutting.
Yeah.
So because this week we had haircuts, colours, balayages, long hair, short hair, men's hair, women's hair. It was just too vague. So my fault. So the 3 winners are.
Go on. You've
got the names. You're going to read them out.
So I've just put them on the screen now, and then we have, and I'm going to go close to read them. Sorry, we've got Amy, Elizabeth. I'm reading out the Instagram names. We've got, what the hell's that one say? Oh, Chloe Darby, and we've got Shani Coop. So they're the 3 winners. The pictures are on screen now, as professional as I could possibly make it look. But yeah, they're the 3 winners. I'll get back in touch with all of them. I think we can all agree. Adee can't see these pictures on, but left to right we've got the ginger, the black hair that turned into this ginger, and the conditioner that looks absolutely fantastic. I think I agreed with you on that one. And then we've got the beautiful blonde balayage in the middle, which is the before and after. And then what I don't want to say my favourite, but it's definitely one of the favourite I've ever seen. To be fair, but it's Shani Coop's before and after on the right hand side. I think going back to what me and Adee were just saying a minute ago. It's got that full image. What's the word? Full image, isn't it? It's got the hair. It's got the outfit. The photographer. The ginger one. It's a beautiful image. So yeah. So there's Adee's win. So there's the Adee winners. So well done to everybody.
And listen, guys, there were so many winners, and
there were loads.
You know, it's the old cliche. Oh, there were so many, but there was about a good 40 that I was like, wow. That's clean, that's sharp, that's nice. So I basically picked 3. Next week, we'll have a competition where it'll be men's only. And it can be editorial men's, it can be barber type hair, any men's kind of makeover. So it'd be more for the barbers and sort of men's hairdressers out there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I do agree with you, mate. There was I think I sent you 9 images and said these are my favourite now, but I can't decide which one. I won't say which ones they were, and then you sent me yours, and I think they're where we cross paths more commonly. I think that's what we'll say.
Oi, Simon, are you doing a bit of sponsorship today, or what?
Wow, what have I done now?
Everybody, Simon can't switch me off because it'll look dodgy. Simon's getting a little bit. I like it. Simon's moving up the ladder, folks. He's gone from my first interview last week to, so Adee, talk to me about your influences on our hair. And then he's gone from sponsorship on the shirt. Go on, Simon.
Right, to put a bit of context to people that can't see this, I have got a jumper that is by the brand Faded, which is a hairdressing terminology, I agree. But if you don't know, there's an Instagram guy called Chet Skett. He's got 500,000 followers. I'm blessed enough for him to be one of my clients, and he throws me free clothes. So I am not sponsored, but I did get this jumper for free. So yeah, it's a good one to wear.
I'm sending one of you. I'm sending one of my skinhead ones to you next week. All right.
Yes, I want a skinhead one, and then one day I'm going to get that
All
chair
right.
that you sat on, and we're going to put it in my shop.
This is what happens. You see, Simon. You go from having a lovely little channel with nice, polite hairdressers, and before you know it, you'll be like, Adee, have you got your questions and answers ready for next week? Adee, where are you? Come on, man.
I'm not having this.
Like, oh my god.
Look, I proved to you. It's got an hole in it, man. I proved to you. It's an old one.
I'm only joking, but it looks good in you, though.
Oh, no, I dress well, don't
Oh
worry.
no! You even crossed your legs like a professional reporter. Oh no!
Mate, have you seen the scars on my knee? I usually hide these buggers. You're lucky I've got them out for you. You're lucky I put a shirt on for you today, mate.
Jonathan Ross. Go on, Jonathan Ross.
I'll tell you.
But the three winners were worthy. I think next week we'll do a men's competition.
Yeah.
And what else are we talking about? Well, where are we with time?
We're just short of an hour now, so yeah, we're aiming for an hour, so we've 55 minutes left for it.
Okay, mate. Cool. I'm all good.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good. It's been an interesting week sending these pictures back and forth. I never expected that many entries, so hopefully next week we can get even more entries and get more knowledge about the thing. But I mean, this live alone, Adee, because you can't see it, we've had 747 love hearts. We've had.
What does that mean? Explain to me what before you people out. I haven't got. I know on Instagram that I like means someone's liked your picture,
Yeah.
and then there's a view. Someone's viewed it. So what is Facebook about? I don't have a. Is it? Have 400 people been online tonight watching us?
Yeah, we've had. I can't tell you how many. We've had at least 70 watching live throughout. Obviously, we're signing off now, so the numbers have slightly dropped, but it'll end on about 1,000. We've had 767 likes, which is a good way to start to gauge it, because that's a lot. But just to read out some of these comments, mate, because we are just talking for nonsense. Someone said, I love Chet, so there you go, mate. Someone does know Chet. And if you know Chet, you'll know he gave me for note. He gave me a box not long ago. I put it on my Instagram. Laura Davey has put brilliant. Katrina Watson has said, I love these talks and love emoji. Jenny Murphy O'Neill, here we go, mate. Next thing we will have you in the shower, Simon. So there you go, you're getting a bit of banter back there of Jenny Murphy O'Neill. Oh, we've lost him. No, we haven't. Anyway, yeah, well done, Jenny. I'm proud of you for that one. Katrina Wilson, Hair Social Awards after the Corona plays. Do you know what? It's something I've been thinking about, because it's just something to do on Wednesday, but I got that many entries on it that I thought we might as well just sort of like make it a challenge, make it a bit of a chat. But now I'm getting like 200 entries on Wednesday challenges. I'm thinking we should do like one a week and then a monthly one. So like who won the April awards, if you will. So the 4 winners of the April weeklies will pick who won the award for the month. What does everyone think about that? Have we got any more comments or anything before we sign out? I want to thank you again for watching. We've had a really good, consistent sort of thing for just two lads having a chat and having absolutely no experience in delivering podcasts or vlogcasts or whatever the fucking terminology is. Do it. You have done well with this. Jason Morris. Yes, Claire Kendrick. Thank you so much, guys. Love tonight. Some inspiration. Sounds great. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. I will sign off and I will see you all next week with the next one. I am not on, you'll be pleased to know, I am not on your screens for the next 7 days. I'm not doing any haircuts, I'm not doing any interviews. It's all down to the artists. So there's some great ones coming up. If you don't know, click on the official Hair Socials page and go to the events part, and then you will see it all there. But yeah, lovely to see you all, guys.